Hello painters, it's Debbie from acrylicpouring.com, and today we're not actually pouring, we're not painting at all, but what I am going to do is show you how I send my paintings in the mail. So if you take part in any of the Facebook group painting swap events that we do, or you have an Etsy store or something online, or you just want to send a painting to a friend or a relation, then at some point you're going to need to package your painting to put them in the mail. This is the way that I do it. You can get a great product online called a book mailer, which is the kind of packaging that comes from Amazon when you order a book from them. Very robust, very good for protecting the corners, very strong, and great for something like paintings. It's available in a whole host of different shapes and sizes to accommodate most of the paintings you're going to want to send. But I can't get any of those here, and you do tend to typically buy them in boxes of like a dozen or 20 or something. So if you only want to send one, this is the way to do it. So I've got my example painting here. I've also got some tissue paper and a roll of brown paper. I've got some of this very lightweight foam core board that you can get from your stationery stores, a pair of scissors and a craft knife, and I've also got one of the little printable postcards, like my promo postcard, that I include in with my paintings. So let's clear those pieces out of the way. First step is to put some tissue paper or something around your painting. Now this one isn't finished, this is just a test canvas, but if you had a finished painting that had, for example, a glossy varnished finish on it, you don't want to put something like bubble wrap on there or anything plasticky that might stick to that varnish in the heat of sending it through the mail. So I found that tissue paper is a good substitute for that. Now as we go through this, I'm going to do it fairly fast for the video, so I'm not going to take an awful lot of care, but obviously if you were doing it at home you would take a bit more care and make a bit of a neater job than I'm going to do. So first of all, I'm just going to neatly put some tissue paper around the painting, and I like to use a couple of layers just because it is quite flimsy, and this is my internal layer of protection. Again, make sure you do it nice and neatly, don't make a quick job like I'm doing. So that is our first step. The next step is to make a little custom box out of this foam core board. So I'll unwrap this and we'll get started. So I'm taking my painting and just popping it here on top of my foam core. This painting is around 5/8 of an inch, yours might be deeper, and basically you want to create a little box that's going to go around your painting with sides that are going to flip up, that will be the depth pretty much of your canvas. So I'm just going to pop it on here. Now I have found that rather than try and cut around, it's much easier to use a pen because you don't want to make a mistake with your knife and cut into your paintings. So I'm just going to roughly draw a line around the painting just here, which is going to be the size of the base of my box. There we are, that's pretty rough, but it will do. And you can use a ruler if you like, or just another piece of board to help you draw a line. So the first thing to do is to mark off. If you have an inch or 3/4 of an inch or whatever on your side, you're just going to do something similar over here. This will be the straight side on the bottom of your box there, and you can just take that off. I'm going to run a knife down through here just to separate off that piece that I don't need, and then these pieces I want to just score them with my craft knife. I'm not going to cut all the way through, but I'm going to score the top level, and that's going to create a hinge. There we go, and as you can see, when I do this, it creates a little hinge just here. And let's do these other sides. Whoops, I went a bit off. Like I say, I'm kind of rushing to make this video less boring as possible, so I'm kind of rushing a little bit and doing it fast, but you take your time and do it neatly and you should get a very nice result with this. Okay, so now I've got my 4 sides, and when I turn those up I get a little box, but we do need to cut the corners out. So I'm just going to get my scissors in there and just snip through where I've got, just take the corner out like this where the lines are overlapping, and here, and here. Okay, so those are done with, and now I need to just check it to make sure that it fits nicely around my painting. And as you see, now we've got a perfect little custom box that fits the painting. It protects it on the sides, and it's a good fit, so the painting isn't going to wobble about too much inside it in the mail, which is going to protect it a lot. But we need to just create our box now with the hinges. So I've got some of this clear packing tape, and again, I'm not going to do it perfect. I'm just going to do a quick job. You take a bit more time and do a better job, neater job with yours. So I've also taken some tape and just reinforced the corners just so that they'll stay together to make my little box to put my painting in, and that looks good. And now we need to make a custom top for it. So I'm going to do exactly the same. I've actually got a couple of pieces here which I'm going to join. So I'm just going to tape those together, make sure I've got some good straight edges that are going to match, and I'll tape them and then use exactly the same methods that I did before to create a top for this box. Once you've got both sides of your custom box made, just make sure to use plenty of this tape all around the outsides here, as you can see that I've done, just to hold everything neatly in place. And now this is really well protected, it's really snug, the box fits perfectly, so there's nothing going on, you know, kind of shaking inside. And our last step is just to use some brown Parcel paper, and again, you can get this in stationery stores or from your local post office perhaps, and this is a really nice thick one, so don't skimp on the paper. If you're going to do this, you know, get some good quality paper, because you don't want it ripping, because your paper is going to be where the address is. So at this point it's also a good idea just to be safe. There we go, that's done. In the event that there was some problem later on and your brown paper with the address on came away, then if you write or tape return details and your addressee details on the inside of here, then even if the paper is damaged later on, then your parcel is still good to go. So I'm just going to finish sticking my brown paper in place. And start by actually securing it to the parcel all the way around. Again, be generous. The more packaging you have, the more likely your painting will make it safely through the mail. I've lost the end of my tape. There we go. Oh, well, don't do that. Don't do it with the window open, blowing your tape everywhere. I'm sure I could do a better job. There we go. That's better. Just going to fold my ends in neatly, same as I did with the tissue paper. Obviously try and make a nice neat job, because a lot of your customer satisfaction is obviously going to come from presentation. So although I'm doing this kind of rushed and not very neat, if you take the time so that when it arrives in the mail, you know, it looks really special, your customer will appreciate how nice it looks and how much care you've taken with their parcel. Oh, there we go, windy day here. So I'll just do this other side. And that's it. Your painting is beautifully packaged. We haven't had it added very much weight to it at all, so we've not made it a lot more expensive to send through the mail, and hopefully it's you know, not going to be damaged in any way, and it will arrive in beautiful condition, ready for the lucky new recipient to open it. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you found this useful. Please share it with anyone that you know who makes art and might be interested in sending it through the mail.